Live, folks. I'm back here live in the studio once again, all by myself, looking out at the lake here in Colburn, Alabama. Got Dustin on the line. He's yep. You still live in Johnson City, Tennessee?
Yep.
You know, I might try to find a Johnson City song to end this thing with, since it seems like you're going to be there a while.
Yeah. Well, there's quite a few country songs with Johnson City in it. I got to think about that on the way up here. So, but yeah, I'm in my hotel room studio.
Yeah, well, hey, I can look out the window. I got my monster green light working back down there at the boat dock, so I can see a green glow going. So
it won't be long. Them stripers will be coming in there.
That'll be toward the end of next month, middle of the end. I'll be down there in my pajamas fishing like I always do. I don't know if I'll catch any. I didn't have much. Well, I broke 3 off last year, so I'm going to try to do a little better this year. But I don't fish for heavy tackle.
I mean, I just hope everybody is excited as we are for what's going to happen in less than 30 days.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Nashville. I'm ready.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I think they're going to pull you into keeping those rivers cleaned up, and you ain't going to make it that weekend. I'll be there by myself.
The Duramax will be headed that way that Tuesday morning. I mean, I know we're not supposed to be there until Tuesday evening, but I've done let them know that, hey, I've got to leave early Tuesday morning, maybe even Monday night.
Well, Monday night? What are you going to do, sleep in the truck?
I may go home and see my kids.
Oh, well, okay. Whatever you want.
But I may not. I may get. It's a little closer for me just to go straight to Nashville.
Well, you'll have to let me know, because I will be off Thursday, Tuesday. Usually I go up on Thursday, but or Wednesday. I've been up there on Wednesday, Thursday. This will be a full week though for us. So if you're going to Nashville, I'll just meet you there at lunch. We'll hang out in Nashville and eat and then go.
If I come in, I'll hitch a ride with you.
There you go. Well, you're gonna have to hitch a ride.
Or
no, you won't. You
could hitch a ride with me, and you could ride back with the women.
No, I'll drive. Thank you. No, I'll pass on that.
They might take you out to eat or something.
Listen, you'll see the wife, and you can FaceTime with the kids from Nashville. They know who you are. They used to this world. We'll turn the music up. I'm headed straight to Nashville. I'll turn the music up loud that night, and I won't even know y'all in the next room. Yeah. But tonight, we do have a special guest, and he's a guy, and we'll get into it a little bit more. I think we came across each other on TikTok, of all places. It's, I think, fixing to get shut down. But Jacob Rampley with Eastern Turkey Obsessions joining us tonight. I think Jacob lives over in North Georgia. Jacob, you with us?
Yes, sir, I am. Thank you guys for having me on, man. I know, we started messaging on TikTok a handful of months ago, and hey, a lot of people are starting to turn the page here to turkey season. So I'm out of Georgia, and thankful to be on the podcast tonight, boys.
Well, with a brand called Eastern Turkey Obsession, I'm assuming, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming you like turkeys and you like to turkey hunt. Maybe love turkeys and love to turkey hunt.
Yeah, I was thinking about it on the drive home. I knew we were going to be talking tonight. It's unhealthy at times. It's a unhealthy obsession, man. I got bit years ago, and it has not let up at one bit, not 1 second of any day. So I started Eastern Turkey Obsession officially a couple years ago, but it honestly originated 5 or 6 years ago. I did not grow up turkey hunting. I grew up deer hunting a little bit here and there, doing a little squirrel hunting every now and then. My papa took me deer hunting a couple times, and would go with some friends for fun. But I grew up playing football, and then I ended up going to college and at Jacksonville State, and had a little fun at Jacksonville State in Alabama. Finally graduated and got back to Georgia. And, I was introduced to turkey hunting actually in 2021. It was the first full year I kind of turkey hunted. And my cousin, Taylor Rampley, he's kind of been my mentor in the turkey woods. He introduced me to the turkey woods. And since then, since I heard that first gobble opening weekend, I believe March 22nd, 2021, it hasn't let up.
I think that hooks more people than anything. It did me. Like you, I was late bloomer turkey hunting. I say late bloomer. I was in my 20s. I deer hunted. Well, let me back up. I didn't deer hunt. We didn't have any deer growing up, so I was raised on squirrels and rabbits. But as the deer got more populated around the state, I'm a child of the 80s, so that tells you how old I am. Turkeys are still being restocked and that kind of thing. But that's exactly what it was. I think it wasn't probably just hearing the gobble for me. It's when I hit the call and that turkey answered me. And I knew he was talking to me, and that was it. It was, I was on. I don't know if you just heard it.
That's one of my favorite things about it is conversing with the wild, going back and forth. That amazed me. I had truly, before I started turkey hunting, I can't think of a time I actually heard a turkey gobble other than, maybe on TV somewhere. I mean, but to be in the woods in its house. I remember the first weekend I ever went turkey hunting too. I asked my cousin Taylor, I said, I was trying to prepare myself. If we did get on one, hey, what am I looking for exactly? What he said, you're looking for a big black blob. I mean, that's just how wet behind the ears I was, getting in the turkey woods. I had no clue what, any yelping or anything. And that first season was an adventure for sure. Maybe we can go through some of that here tonight.
Well, before we get too deep, let's back up and do a little background check on you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We know you're in Georgia. You've been there your whole life. How old you are. You grow up. Where, what little town you from. That kind of thing.
Yeah, so I was born in Marietta in 91. I'm 33, about to be 34 here. Moved around a little bit, ended up settling down in Rockmart, Georgia, and spent middle school and high school there. Graduated high school from Rockmart, and again went to Jacksonville State. Spent some time there, a lot longer than I should have, but finally got that degree. I work right now in the mechanical engineering world now for a commercial HVAC manufacturer. And I've been doing that for about 7-8 years now. I love it. It's challenging at times, but then I met my now wife several years ago. We've been married for a year and a half now, so we've settled down for now in kind of middle Georgia, south of Noonan. However, I do a lot of my turkey hunting and deer hunting in Alabama. Her father, my father-in-law, we've gotten pretty close over the last few years, and we do some hunting together. Now, he don't turkey hunt, which means that's just more turkeys for me. But he was gracious enough to let me in a lease he's a part of, and so I do a bit of turkey hunting in Alabama as well as Georgia.
Yeah, we got Georgia on our list, don't we, Dustin? We hadn't killed a turkey in Georgia yet, so we traveling all over the dang country, and Mississippi and Georgia both. We still got to get close to home and get one. I think it's hard.
Maybe I can.
I was going to say maybe you can point us in the right direction or something one of these days over there. And we got some friends. We got friends now. You said you're in. What's the name of the town you're in?
So I'm in Grantville, Georgia, which is kind of outside of Noonan. It's kind of the LaGrange and Noonan area people know most off of 85. I'm an hour from Auburn. On the
you're way
side.
you're way south. Yeah, I wouldn't think. Yeah.
And I
thought you was up in North Georgia. Right, I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, yeah, that's where I was kind of born and raised.
Oh, okay.
Georgia. Yeah, and then the last year and a half I've been down here, but I do a lot of.
He's not one of them. He's not one of them Waleska boys.
Waleska, yeah.
I'm not.
I assume you may have heard of them. I mean, they're up and coming, but the Talk About It Outdoor guys, you ever listen to their podcast or?
I do. Alex,
Nick, and that whole group. Yeah, I got to listen to them. I mean, they were like one or two podcasts in. They were. I'm not saying we're doing any better today, but it was rough back in the early days when they first got started. And then I introduced Dustin to them one day. They were at the Deer Expo here in Birmingham, and since then we've all been pretty tight. So.
Yeah. I met Alex at NWTF last year.
I'm sorry.
And since then, I've kind of followed him and kept up with him. And as funny as he is, I've come to learn he's also a good dude. So
he's a real good guy. They're all good guys.
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah, any of the other guys personally, but from everything I know, they're great guys, man.
Well,
I think the whole crew's going to be in Nashville this time.
They will.
So
they will.
If you're going to be there, you'll get a chance.
Yeah, I'll definitely go. I definitely plan on swapping some stories with Alex. He's a hoot.
We'll be hanging out somewhere between. We'll be working with Legacy Game Calls over at their booth, and we've known and his wife Terry forever, and we always try to go help them there. And if they come to Birmingham or Tuscaloosa or anywhere close, we'll go support them, help them out. They've been real good to us. And what is it? He's in his 30th year of making calls. I think isn't that the 30th anniversary? They come out with some kind of anniversary call.
Yeah, 30th.
Yeah. But they're good people. You get over there, we'll get you over there and introduce you to them too. They're out of South Carolina. So
nice.
All the best calls come out of the South.
I agree.
You have to have good calls if you're going to hunt these turkeys because, like Cuz Strickland says, they're evil. They're evil. They're mean.
Yeah, man. So people that aren't close to the wild turkey truly can't comprehend how smart these things are.
No. Sometimes I think they're psychic. So
yeah, I mean,
they get ninja powers.
That's a great explanation for it, man. They truly do. I mean,
that son of a gun, he was right there. He's done pop smoke, ain't made no noise. He's nowhere to be found. Where'd he go?
Yeah, I mean,
it's amazing to me.
If they could smell, nobody would kill them.
No, you're exactly right. If they could smell, and like you said, Dustin, I've never thought about it. Like a ninja, but yeah, they can just appear too. I mean, they don't have to make a sound. All of a sudden, you're just, I've lost several not knowing they were there and make the wrong, make a move. And when I turn my head instead of my eyes, there he is, and he's done seen me. And you ain't gonna get on him before he's gone.
I had one of the biggest birds I've ever seen down in Dowie. I had a couple of pictures of him. But I had no idea he was even working that area that I was hunting. And I'm talking about it was getting dark enough. I was thinking birds was, headed to roost. And I heard one leaf crunch. And I done what you said, because I ain't heard nothing. Ain't been no gobbles. And I'm just going to turn my head. I think it's a deer maybe, or squirrel. I'm just bored. I turn my head and hear this big son of a gun. He's 15 feet from me, right over my right shoulder, and I'm on a big tree. There's no way to get a shot at this bird. We see each other at the same time, and he's gone. I haven't seen him yet. I think that was 3 years ago. But, man, they just come up on you.
They do, man.
So, well, tell us.
I'm getting fired up.
I was expecting you to put a mouth call in right there. I wasn't sure, but
shoot, I may have to take some blood pressure medicine.
Oh my God! Here I am, the old guy, and I don't even need to. Well, I do. I might need it when I hear one gobble this year. No, usually. I'm sorry. I got a button picture just come in on my phone. I had to look at it. Sorry, guys. Rut's about,
at least somebody's getting them.
Well, Rut's about to come in around the 20th is where I hunt in Dallas County. That's when it's happening. So they don't know it at work, but this cold spell, I might not be there a whole lot. If I can get down there,
yeah, they're
talking all that snow or ice or whatever they're talking, I'm gonna have to be down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Monday and Tuesday, highs 32. I'm thinking about using a day or two of vacation myself. I hunt down in outside of Alexander City, Lake Martin area, in a small town called Kellyton. And nobody knows when the rut comes in there. I'll tell you that. There was a fawn that dropped a couple months ago. I mean, she was probably bred in March. My goodness. I mean, so it's the craziest thing down there.
Well, we do the same thing. I've got one that I swear should have spots. I don't know why it don't. It can't be more than 2 feet tall. I've never seen a smaller fawn this late in the year. But it happens. But I have been down there back before the timber company cut all my trees and run all my turkeys off. I watched deer. I've watched bucks without horns chasing does and grunting. Yes. Just because them horns drop don't mean they're not ready. They're still ready. So,
yep.
Well, I know they get bred in March, at least that late in the year. Well, we're not here to talk about stupid deer. That's a simple man's game. Anybody can kill a deer. Throw out a little corn or whatever and set on a stump and kill a deer, but you ain't gonna do that with no turkey. Tell us a little bit about your brand, Eastern Turkey Obsession. You know, how it came about and what it is.
Yeah, so I kind of, my first year turkey hunting. So my cousin also has his own brand, Harvest Warranted. Definitely go check him out on Instagram, and he's got some fun turkey videos on YouTube as well. So check him out on YouTube as well. But I was Harvest Warranted through and through, and I kind of said, hey man, next year I want to come up with my own thing, and they kind of mean something to me personally. And it didn't take too long to come up with the name. I was ate up with Eastern turkeys, and I was obsessed with it. So, I kind of said, hey, I'm going to wear my own brand into the woods and kind of do my own thing. And I've been doing it somewhat since. Started with a couple hats, and since have grown into about 10 different hats and some koozies and flags and a website and an Instagram and TikTok. So, the biggest thing for me is just relationships and swapping turkey stories. I think that's been my favorite thing about it since starting the brand. Sharing trees with people in the spring that, I never probably would have met if it wasn't for, my brand and kind of venturing into the outdoor world. So it means a lot to me. But that's kind of how that started. There were a lot of ups and downs before the brand was truly started. Just a lot of lessons learned in the woods before I felt like I could truly call myself a turkey hunter. But I'm thankful for where I'm at today.
Yeah, the outdoor industry and the people. That's one thing we found out. It's full of good people.
Yes.
We've made a lot of friends kind of before we started this. Well, we've talked about it. I don't know how many years we talked about this, Dustin. It was a bunch before we
2 or 3 years. Yeah.
I mean, when you're driving thousands of miles and you sit there and talk and never shut up and talk about turkeys. That's when I guess it just hit us. We could do this and maybe somebody listen to it. I think we got 2 or 3 people out there listening anyway. because if we miss a week, I hear about it. So, I mean, are we the most popular? No, but we ain't been around that long. But we're trying.
That's like my brand, man. I feel like you guys are doing it for the right reasons, all the right reasons. So swapping, talking turkey hunting and the outdoors, and
well,
I'm definitely listening to you guys, and
we don't have sponsors.
Being from the South here. Yeah,
we're kind of self-funded. Not saying we wouldn't have a sponsor somewhere down the road. I mean, I've got enough businesses to take care of. Maybe down the road after I get retired and out of all the other crap I'm in, we might talk about it. And, we've begged everybody on earth to be pro staff. Nobody likes us. So I guess, we're not, well, I guess legacy. We're on staff with legacy for the most part. But, we're just doing our own thing. We was talking about tonight. Might just have to make our own camo brand and go out there.
Hey, man.
Everybody else is. It ain't hard now.
Yeah, it's not all that hard. I'll say, pro staffing and all that is definitely awesome. And but to me personally, at the end of the day, man, I just want to hunt.
That's it.
Well,
I'm on Moultrie's field staff and that kind of thing. I've used their cameras. I used to build my own homemade cameras back in the day. I started back in the 35 millimeter days all the way up to we were hacking little handheld video cameras and putting them in boxes. So I got on their staff a while back, and it's interesting when you start seeing it from the inside anyway.
Yeah, I recently joined Harmony Game Calls and on their field staff and doing some other things with them, helping out some business stuff and some sales and trying to help grow their brand. They've got an awesome brand. They make awesome calls. I just got my first batch of calls in from them a week ago. I'm still breaking them in, but and they put out some great stuff. Go follow them on TikTok and Instagram and whatnot. Probably just Instagram if TikTok goes away, right? But Harmony Game Calls, Brett.
Yeah, I got to get all my TikTok videos downloaded, I guess, and saved in case they go dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brett.
Harmony. I looked at their website. They got some nice, beautiful calls.
Oh man, and they sound as good as they look. They sound. The Banded Bird was my first purchase, and I got my brother one for Christmas too. You can kind of customize the band around the call, but it's a crystal over aluminum, man, and it is a sweet double-sided call. I'll say that. Made in Alabama. They're in Alabama as well. So.
Where are they located in Alabama?
They're in kind of northwest. Northeast Alabama, sorry.
Oh, okay.
They live, there's three owners, Brett, Brandon, and Hunter. They live in a few different spots, but, basically Northeast Alabama is where they're located.
Oh, yeah. I was digging up. I was looking through their website while you were talking about it. I wanted to see this Banded Bird call.
Yeah, man. It's probably the most unique calls in the industry.
And what does
I almost ordered me one of their strikers last year, one of their corn husk strikers.
Yep.
I mean, there's quality. I got behind. I was coming from Randolph County turkey hunting and got behind. I'm assuming probably one of the owners at Harmony Game Calls was all over the back glass, and so of course, I hit it on my phone going down the interstate.
Yep.
And I started looking at their stuff, and they do have some beautiful calls.
They do, man. And the thing about them, too, is, it's the quality of them, like you were saying, there's a very high standard for every single call that's put out there. I have so much respect, and it was awesome to be able to join those guys. Me and Brett, Brandon and Hunter are kind of co-owners, but Brett kind of started the whole thing. And, I've become friends with all of them the last few months and super excited about working NWTF with those guys. They'll be at booth 17. So go check them out. Come shake a hand. We'll be there all week. So, and then sharing the tree with some of those guys too this spring.
Heck yeah, I'd love to get to know them better, especially people from your own state. You know, it's Alabama, and Georgia, Mississippi too, but I think Alabama's got such a deep rooted history in turkey hunting, especially down the deep south, because that's where they were only places they were left. That a lot of that. Of course, now I know it in Pennsylvania and places like that. They're just as passionate, but I don't know if I think we produce some of the best turkey hunters, and like I said earlier, to hunt these birds, as pressured as they are everywhere, they public, private, I don't care. They get hammered. Yep. You've got to produce you've got to produce a call that'll fool them. I mean, it's just, there's no other way to say it. I mean, that's what you're doing. So, yeah, I'm going to say
calling, some woodsmanship as well, and sometimes not calling.
Well, that's true, and that's where a lot of people. I think you hit the big thing was woodmanship. Just walking out in the woods and not knowing the terrain, not knowing where you're at or where he would be at or how to get to him, that's probably 90% of it.
Oh, without a doubt. And that takes, it takes years in the turkey woods to truly develop that woodsmanship. And I mean, my cousin Taylor Rampley, again, he's my mentor. He's being in the woods with him the first 2 or 3 years of turkey hunting. I learned so much about so many different things. I mean, he'll probably listen to this podcast once I send it to him, but so I won't make his head too big. But I mean, he's a turkey whisperer. I mean, he can call, he can maneuver through the woods. I mean, I've seen this guy spit and drum at an Eastern and have this Eastern gobble back at him. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. He's a turkey nut, obviously, as well. So. He's definitely got the woodsmanship part down. And so I can come out scratching my head sometimes. I don't know how that just happened, but it did.
And it's so dry in here. And I'm only drinking tea tonight. I hope I hit a button. I thought I was hitting my little cough button, but apparently I didn't. So Dustin gets on me. Sometimes I don't drink tea. I might have something else.
Yeah, you've been known to have a little brown water.
Occasionally, it'll keep you from catching the flu.
Yeah,
or get you over.
Stay medicated for the winter. Yeah.
Well, it got me over. What we were down in Florida one year hunting, and I was sick as a dog. 4:00 in the morning. That's the first thing I had was big old shot of Crown before I even had my coffee, and that's all medicine was back in the day. So it worked.
Yeah.
So are you planning on doing any? You said you hunt in Alabama, so we know that. You going anywhere else? You got any big plans, or you gonna play it by ear?
Yeah. No. My schedule starts kind of piling first of the year. I start trying to get my schedule down so that I can make sure the wife approves of it. But I'll start. Actually, I'm going to Texas in the middle of March for an opener there. I'll come back. Alabama will open on the 25th on a Tuesday. I'll take a day or two off for that, and then Georgia will open up that weekend. And then I'm going to try to slide in Florida. And maybe a couple other states, Kentucky, Missouri, possibly. Let's see what happens the first month of the season. I've got into a new lease. I'm super excited to try out in Alabama. I'm still in the same one in Kellyton, but I've got in another one as well. And So I'm going to be spending a bit of time in Alabama outside those other 2 or 3 states.
How's your wife handling this? Apparently you didn't turkey hunt, at least not like you're doing now when you guys were dating. It didn't sound like.
No, it was actually, I had been bit a couple of years before. And when we first met, she liked the fact that, I was just a good old Southern boy, just doing some hunting, and she didn't know the extent of it.
Well, her dad was a hunter, correct?
Correct.
So
but
that helps a little.
It helped a little, but her dad, he does some deer hunting, and he's a busy man. He runs several businesses, so he can't get in as much as he would probably like. So, but there's nothing casual about my turkey hunting. So hey, I've turned a 6-week Georgia season into a 2 or 3 month season going to other states now, but she's been awesome. She's been my biggest supporter. So I'm thankful she allows me to do, what I love and follow my passion and my dreams. So she's been awesome about it. Now I have to tone down the calling in the fall. I can't be calling as much in the house year round, but she understands once that page turns here at the first of the year that it's turkey time.
Yeah, I don't call. I'm lucky. I call a little bit in the house, but it takes me I live in Coleman, Alabama. It takes me about an hour drive to my office in Birmingham. So I do all my main calling or practicing from, every morning, every afternoon. So driving. So
that's a great time to do it.
It's good as long as you're using the mouth call. Now I was trying to, and I've never been able to do it. I've been trying to gobble a little bit. I don't know why, but I just wanted to do it. And I was sitting at a traffic light in downtown Birmingham, trying to gobble, shaking my head with it, and I looked over, and there was 2 guys look at me, or a guy and his wife, and I know they thought I was having a seizure. They had to have. So, the window was up. They didn't know what I was doing, but I just kind of.
Yeah,
I was glad when the light turned green. Anyway,
it's funny you say that. I've showed my wife some of these competition callers, and they're kind of making these, putting their hand on their ear and making some weird gestures and trying to act like a turkey. And my wife, she's like, man, if you start doing that, you're going to have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's one thing I never got into was any of the competition calling, that kind of stuff. I'm not that good. I've killed plenty of turkeys. If I'm good enough to kill a turkey, I'm good enough. That's the way I look at it. I
love watching it in Nashville. That's for sure.
Oh, there's some talented people, real talented. So, yeah, I guess Nick Wilson, he's one of the other half of the Talk About It Outdoor guys, Alex's partner. Mm-hmm. He'll be calling. I think he's doing solo. I want to say he's doing owl and then something. He's got a team calling event too. I'm going to try to catch him this year. I missed it last year. I didn't know when he was going to be in there. But those things last all day long. Sometimes it's hard to get away. It's so crowded. Was you there last year?
It is. I was able to sneak up in there.
Man,
I got to see Dave call. Got to see Van Sykes call. I mean, that was my first time being able to get to the show.
Man, so I tell you what, it's a show. People that haven't been there don't realize what all. I mean, the competition is just really a small part of it. I mean, now if you're a competition caller, it's a big part of it, but just the competition.
Yeah, that's in the background.
Oh yeah,
for the most part, unless you actually know what's going on.
I enjoy walking around looking at the taxidermy, looking at all the custom calls. We got a friend, Christopher King. He makes some beautiful pot calls, and he I think what he tell me something like he could come in 30th or something last year. First year he's ever even been in it. So he said he learned a lot, and so I'm hoping he does well with his call. But the actual trade show out there, that's what I call it, for lack of a better word. I mean, my God, thousands of people. They just don't realize, or booths. And thousands of people. I think, last year they said 70,000 people went through there. What, Thursday? Was it, between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? It was just crazy.
Yes, it was. It was a lot of fun, but it gets crazy. It takes a couple of days to walk that full floor. Really, there's some to really get a grasp of what everybody's doing.
Well, I've downloaded the map, or I have an interactive map, but I'm trying to make notes in my phone of booths I'm particularly want to go visit. Now I end up at almost all of them, it seems like, or me and Dustin do. I mean, we walk ourselves to death, but that's about the only way you can do it. And you better make a note of if you see something you want, you better make a note of what booth number it was, or ask where it was, or you'll never find it again. Especially when they're in there 6-8 wide, walking in every direction. It's crazy. Now our wives have started going with us, so me and Dustin's going up. Like we said, we're going up Tuesday. Try to help Legacy them get their stuff set up. Maybe even to talk about it, guys. But and then
I'll be there Thursday. I'll get there probably Thursday morning. I'll drive up early, be there for the start of the show on Thursday, and I'll be there through Sunday. So we definitely got to.
We'll all hook up somewhere around the line for sure.
No doubt.
And then there's nothing left but to be standing in the woods at daylight once the show's over.
It's kind of, to me, I was talking to somebody last year about it. It's kind of like a tease. You get there, you get all fired up, you talk turkey hunting for 24 hours for 4 or 5 days, and then for most states, you got to still wait another month.
Oh yeah, especially those northern states.
Yeah, they got to wait even longer.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, man, when you leave the show, obviously you're exhausted, but you're ready to go turkey hunting, and you still got to wait a month.
Well, and last year, Dustin and I hunted 2 different places we'd never hunted before. We'd hunted the place in Kentucky. We had a farm a friend of his has leased for deer hunting, but we turkey hunted it. It's outside of Cadiz, right? Or you you're just sitting over there quiet. I didn't know if you just fell off and went to sleep on us, or you got to butt in.
No.
I've been accused of running my mouth. Matter of fact, Mr. Ronnie Strickland said I talk too much, but we were up there. We put cameras out, and we went up there a couple of times to listen way before season, and then we got a place in Tennessee that we're going back to this year, and we'll have to get up there, I guess, after the show, right, Dustin? I mean, I'll have to go up there by myself. I don't know. By the time, depending on what you do, I may have to go up and scout for us.
Well, it opens April something up there, so
I know that, but you think I can sit around here and do nothing in March? I mean, I'll be hunting the first part of March. I'm probably going to be up there driving around like we did last year. At least looking for tracks. This place it was amazing at the turkeys. We drove into this place. I'm not going to say it's near the town of Savannah, Tennessee, but Dustin can tell you I was not impressed. I wasn't impressed whatsoever. I didn't think much of it, but holy crap, there was when spring got fired. We was up there on it was cold and rainy that first day, wasn't it, Dustin?
It was nasty. It was just nasty.
We hit it.
Wind was blowing.
Oh, rain.
Yeah, we hit it, and then went on up to Cadiz.
Then we went up to Cadiz. That's where that other farm was in Kentucky. And now I had high hopes for that place, and it kind of was a bust for us. I mean, there's turkeys, but they just they didn't want to play. They didn't want to play the game with us. So I was
They'll do
sure.
that.
Oh, I know. I mean, what that opening morning in Kentucky, well, we had 2 or 3 gobbling. I mean, just out of sight. I'm thinking this is a sure thing. We're about to be done. Of course,
we're about to double up and be out of here.
Yeah, and that ain't what worked. They flew down and went the other way with the hens. I'm supposing right across the property line. They were gone, and we never saw them again.
I'm thinking the coyote that come in between us had a little bit to do with that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that'll do it too.
Yeah, that coyote nearly crawled up in our lap. He just come across the fence and came right down there on us. Yeah, that's probably, I'd forgot about that, but you're right. Probably did have a lot to do with it. And normally, if I didn't know they wasn't 75 yards away in a tree, I probably would have shot the coyote. Because that's one thing I'm going to kill if I see.
No doubt.
But he did move on. He didn't stay long. He just kind of moved, came out of that pasture onto the woods, headed back to wherever he's going. But I guess it was enough. So when you're out in the woods, what's your go-to call? What do you use? You like mouth calls, pot calls, box calls?
Yeah, really depending on the situation. I've gotten decent with a mouth call the last couple of years. The first couple of years I turkey hunted, I just ran old basic sleep. And if I was with my cousin, I wasn't calling at all. But I learned how to run a mouth call, a little Woodhaven kind of V-cut. I ventured off into some Harmony mouth calls now. And, on those windy days, definitely going to pull out a box call. Got to get down in the bottom. Been working on my soft stuff with my mouth call. I think that's probably some of the most crucial calling you could do. But yeah, those are a few of the things. I've got some other calls I've just got from Harmony as well that I've never had a copper call. So I've got a copper call I'm going to break in, and they got this little slate call called the Closer. Just a slate call, but it does not have a bottom to it. You just kind of palm it and kind of do some tree yelps or some soft calling. That thing's pretty slick.
Really? Well, yeah. I've looked at, there's a couple I'm probably going to buy. With mouth calls, my favorite go-to is a ghost cut. That's one I don't know why, I just blow it better than the rest of them. And they got a couple I saw, so I'll be leaving with a couple of them, I feel sure.
Well, I was going to say, both you guys and anybody listening to, use my code JR10, and you'll get a nice discount on there. So,
well, I hope I'm standing right there beside you, and you go, "Hey, this is my good friend Anthony from Alabama. He gave us all this free advertising on the podcast. All 3 of their listeners are going to be buying calls." So
yeah.
But I'm gonna have to get them on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, you should. You definitely should. I'll definitely.
They're interested in coming on, talking with us, and hey, anybody that wants to talk turkey, I'll talk to them because
I'm
an empty nester. My kids are grown. My youngest was my turkey hunting partner, and he's gone. He lives in North Carolina. My wife don't even hunt, so ain't no use talking to her about it. All she wants to know is when I'm leaving and when I think I'm coming back, because we have yet to come back the day we tell our wives we're coming back. We have left and said we're going to be gone 5 days, and we're gone 9 days. It's just one of them things. They done figured it out. They've got it. I guess as long as we check in, they hadn't divorced us yet, so we're in good shape.
Good shape.
Yeah, I'm liking that. Which call is that I was just looking at? They got 2. Well, my internet is slow up here. I don't know what happened to it. I backed out of it, but they got two different ghost cuts. I'll be trying both of them.
Heck yeah, man! They're good quality calls, man. Their goal behind a lot of their calls was, for anybody to be able to pick them up and use them, the usability of them. So hopefully when you get them, you like them, and let us know, man.
Well, I got a guy, he works for me, and he's getting into turkey hunting a little bit, and he was asking me about what cut and this cut, that, and all. Matter of fact, today, and I told him, I said, look, you just need to go out and purchase you a few of every one from different people. You're going to find one that just fits, that you're going to be. Now, look, you can ask Dustin. I had it, and I lost it, but I had it around my neck little pouch thing that I had 6 or 8 mouth calls in that I just carry with me, because you never know what they're going to want. I mean, I know what I like, but that don't mean he's going to like it. You know, you put it away and grab something that you wouldn't even think, you know, might not be that good with, and blow it, and man, it just sets them off. And that's why.
Some days he ain't gonna like the old raspy lady.
No. He might. Might be loud. He wants that loud call. Most times just a little soft clucking, and you know, it'll do the trick. I usually carry a couple of pot calls, a bunch of mouth calls. I rarely carry a box call. I just don't. I've got a bunch of them, but I just don't carry them that much. And I carry 6, 7 strikers, because a striker can make any pot call sound different. Each striker to me gives it a different pitch, different sound. So I might have 2 pot calls and 6 strikers, and I look like I feel like I've got 7 or 8 different pot calls in my pocket. But you'll like that copper if it sounds good. You get it out. I've got, me and Dustin both, we buy some calls made by Dean Redbeard, or I don't know if you have seen much of him, but he makes some absolutely beautiful calls. What's his last name? I can't never pronounce that. That's the reason I ask Dustin all the time.
He has a hard last name.
But he is it's
a mouthful.
I'll pull him up in a minute, but yeah, it's a mouth. Yeah, Dean. Shoot, man, it's a weird name. But like I said, he's a good dude. I wish I had decent, fast internet in here. Dean Munhiki. He just goes by Redbeard. Pull him up. Look at some of his calls. He's got some beautiful ones. We both ordered a couple of calls he made out of some burl. I don't know what the wood actually is, but it's from a burl. It is absolutely. It looks too pretty to carry, but I'm hunting with it. Because I had a 3-track collar. That's what messed me up. He has 1, 2, 3 tracks. I didn't know what he's even talking about at first. I'm thinking, is that like 3 layers or something? Like copper over glass over slate. I don't know. And then, no, he's not talking about that. He cuts turkey tracks into the back of this pot to give it that certain sound, and he'll cut a track and play it. If it don't sound right, he may cut another track, and if it sounds good, he stops there, or he may put a third one in it to get, or he may throw it in the garbage. So if it just don't play, but he's the guy. He coined the phrase, "It's a damn disease," and he's right. I mean, it's
oh man.
If you go on the Mossy Oak Go app and you type that in, you'll see his little, 15, 20 minute clip on him. He's a very eccentric dude. You wouldn't know it, but he's a computer programmer of all things. If you saw him, you'd think he was a homeless guy out on the corner. But he is a super guy, as good as goes, smart as they come. Really a legend in the call industry. I mean, he made one of the calls that went in the Fox Vest. So he's been doing it a long time.
Those calls we got were Buckeye Burl.
Buckeye, yeah, that's what it was. Buckeye.
Yeah.
Then I had a Coca-Bola?
Coca-Bola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I killed a couple of turkeys with it last year. So I'm not afraid. I'll use anything that'll make one gobble. So I've got scratch boxes. I've got one. I think you bought one too. It's made out of petrified wood. We bought it at a show one year. I've never hunted with it, but I might throw it in my vest. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. It's so light and thin. But, all kinds of stuff like that. So, but like I said, I've been I started, I guess I was somewhere around 2021. I didn't know what I was doing. I never killed a turkey till I was 24, I think, when I killed the first one. They've been several hundred rode in the back of the truck since then, but I didn't get that early start. I didn't have no mentor. There wasn't no YouTube to look at. These old timers, they wouldn't tell you nothing. I mean, nothing. And I guess being the age I am, I guess a lot of people consider me an old timer, but I'll tell people I ain't telling everything. I'll
definitely help someone out with maybe some tactics or working on some calling or something possibly, but I'm not sharing no pins.
Yeah, well, now I'll tell you.
And I didn't hear no goblin this morning either.
Well, it's funny you said that about goblin. I cut my teeth in Barber County. As a matter of fact, 3,500 acres I learned to turkey hunt on. It's part of the management area down there now, but this was 94, somewhere right in there, 95. And it was really the golden age of turkeys. They were, stocking it. They were turkeys everywhere. I stood on a ridge one morning and heard 18 turkeys gobble, 18 different turkeys gobble. And when I got back to the camp, there was an old man from Arkansas. Him and another old guy from Arkansas was there, and they said, "You hear anything?" I said, "I didn't hear nothing. Not a peep." Well, I didn't know it, but the next day they were on the other end of that ridge, and them same birds gobbled. I don't know if there's 18 of them, but he let me know. He said, "You're a turkey hunter because you lied through your mouth yesterday." I said, "I sure did. And I hate that you heard what I heard, because then we were, we had to jockey around. There's plenty of turkeys down there.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. It's nothing personal, man. A lot goes into finding turkeys.
But look, we've been fortunate. Dustin has some friends that's traveled around a lot more than friends I got. I got cheap friends, and they didn't drop a pin like where they roosted a turkey or anything. But when we were in Kansas and Nebraska, they gave us places to start. I would do that. I guess, Dustin, you probably would too, wouldn't you? So,
Oh, yeah. And we actually got hooked up. We stopped at, he gave us an area, and me and Anthony just found a random place to stop the first morning in Kansas. We got out of the truck and a bird gobbled.
Yep, sure did.
And we were like, that's close enough, man. We're ready.
So, yeah, if you called us and said, "Hey, I'm headed to Nebraska," yeah, I'll give you a pin. We're doing all walk-in stuff
I can put you on a bird in the morning.
I guarantee you, I know right where he's roosted right now. The whole flock. So, if you can't get,
I know where the cedar trees are and where you need to go up the hill for the morning.
We did learn. Have you ever hunted up north like that? Or I say Midwest. I call it up north because it's north of here.
I went to Kansas for the first time last year. Had to come home. Trip got cut short. But there was some jakes that came out. But then I'm going to Texas this year. But other than that, no, I have not been out of the South.
Well, we hadn't either. And Kansas, kind of what we were hunting, kind of reminded me of here for the most part. We was hunting. Well, there's big fields and stuff, but we was in creeks and tree lines and that kind of stuff. But Nebraska, one of the places we went, we should have looked at it on a topo, because you start in the bottom of these drainages, which can be 100 feet high. But these turkeys, and nobody told us this. Nobody told us. We didn't know. We lucked up and parked within, I don't know, 400 or 500 yards of a roost tree. They were gobbling, and we got in there. But them turkeys don't fly down; they fly up.
No.
We didn't know that. These things fly up the side of the hill and get on top. It's all flat up there on top. And now they come back and they roost the same place every day. There's just so few trees or places. I say trees. There's plenty of trees as far as in those drainages, but where they can get out of the wind, because the wind never stops. But they will roost in them same spots. And it was something. It was like, I don't know. We didn't have 3 days to hunt. And so we didn't know till really the third day that, hey, you're supposed to get on top before daylight, and they're going to fly and come up there. 'Cause I guess they can see. Now they'll walk them ranges down to the roost. They don't come off the top and fly sideways into the tree. They'll come down the bottom and fly up in the tree, because we roosted them several times. But that's for people that's never been out there and they hit that terrain. Hunt on top, start on top. Don't do like dumb Anthony, stay in the bottom. So
we had terrible weather too the whole time we were there.
Oh rain, man, storm, never stops. Yeah, we were in tornadoes in Kansas, hail, thunderstorm, lightning in Nebraska, poured down rain. But it didn't on me. I killed my turkey first day in South Dakota, first evening. I ain't the guy. You'll never hear anybody say, well, Anthony had a chance to kill one, but it was his first afternoon and he didn't, because I did. I shot mine. I was done in 20 minutes. I was back in the cabin eating.
Not me.
Oh, no. Poor Dustin, he hunted all day the next day in just a drenching downpour, 40 degrees.
I got him that evening, though.
Yeah, you were just getting your money's worth.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, trust me. We burnt a tank of fuel out of a Duramax diesel trying to find one goblin in that pouring rain. We heard one bird. No, we heard one right at daylight, got in the truck, and just started going and calling from different points. And we heard one other bird. He gobbled one time, and that was it. And we pretty much burnt a tank of fuel out of a Duramax. And then I got back to Anthony, and we had lunch or whatever. And then me and him traveled another hour going out and some more turkeys. But I did finally close that chapter that evening. And then
y'all were nearly in Wyoming one time, weren't you?
Yeah, we were 10 miles.
Wow.
So it was.
I mean, we both killed with the same guy. Anthony had him the first evening, then I ended up with him after Anthony killed out in 3 minutes, and then, but I mean, he knows the area, and I don't really know if there's anything he don't know about that area, to be honest with you. Do you, Anthony? I mean, he can tell you.
I think
he knows every inch of that forest through there. I mean, it's crazy what he knows.
We used an outfitter up there, but Kansas and Nebraska, we hunted public. I killed one in Kansas, and he killed one in Nebraska, and then we both killed in South Dakota.
So we got to go back.
Yeah.
So we got to go back and flip-flop.
Yeah, he's got to get one in Kansas, and I got to get one in Nebraska.
But I think I'll just go ahead and get tags for Nebraska, and I'm sure you're going to get them for Kansas.
You see where Nebraska sold their 10,000 tags in less than like 24 hours this year?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we nearly lost out last year. I mean, the year we did it. Because the guy, it took 2 days, because I got a friend, he hunts up there almost every year. Matter of fact, he's going back again this year, but he called me. He said, you got your tags? I wasn't thinking there was going to be no big rush on them. I said, no. He said, there's not, but I think they knew how many thousand was left. He said, you need to get them bought now. And we came in right under the deadline, I guess, and got them before they ran out. And then Kansas,
that was the last year.
Yeah, that was the last year you could buy them basically over the counter. Now, of course, it's a draw. I've got us a farm set up in Kansas too, by the way, Dustin.
Right. Well, man, Anthony, that's another thing. I know we all talked a little bit prior to this starting, but that's another thing me and Anthony accomplished. We went ahead and put in for our preference point for Iowa, because it takes 2 years to get drawn.
At least 2,
so
minimum.
We have a minimum, so we've at least we'll have one preference point for next year. So, I don't know. There's just so many states.
And I don't know if you use it, but Dustin found this app called Hunt 49. You might have heard us talk about it before. You need that app on your phone.
Hunt 49.
Hunt49.com. Yes. everything you need to know about every state is there with links to their DNR.
Wow.
Whoever created it was a genius.
If they're not millionaires, they will be, because it is the go-to.
I know. Well, me and Anthony, we actually saw them in Nashville last year. We kind of thought, we didn't really know what it was. And then I was listening to another podcast, and they had the guy that created it on there, and I downloaded it immediately going down the road and got to looking at it when I got stopped. I got showing it to Anthony, and then we passed it on, and we've had a few people tell it, man, thanks for that. But we're definitely going to go by if they're there this year, which I'm sure they will be, and meet those guys, because they've helped us out a bunch.
Yeah, I'm just shocked.
This is our first time.
I would have thought they'd been gobbled up by now.
Yeah, I don't know how the whole app thing, like how that world works. I don't know a whole lot about that.
But yeah, put it on your phone, especially if you're traveling out, Alabama and Georgia, Mississippi. We kind of find that out pretty easy, but like Iowa and Idaho and all these other places, and like Nevada, you'll never get drawn out there. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, that's stuff.
I'm too old to worry about. I'll never get all 49 states. But just because I don't think I ever get that, or Arizona, so I'll get all I can though while I can still walk. You got all my teeth.
A for effort.
Yeah. Well, I had a hunting partner for years, and he died on me. And we just hunted Alabama. I mean, we had so many turkeys, and he was real tight, and he didn't like to spend money, and so I didn't want to go hunt by myself. And then me and Dustin, he did some work for me, and we got to be friends. We knew we turkey hunted, and we talked turkey hunting all the time, and we check on each other during the season. And then he just called me out of the blue about going to Texas. That was our first road trip, was to Texas, way south Texas. We were off down near Victoria.
Where Ray Charles can kill a turkey.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard. Said Ray, anybody can kill a turkey in Texas. That ain't true. Don't think you're going out there. Them Rios ain't as stupid as they say they are. It took us, we was gone 9 days on a 4-day hunt. So
we brought feathers back.
Yes, sir. We killed turkeys. We sure killed. We got our money's worth out of it. Met a super guy out there, and I don't think he guides no more, but I don't know.
Go back to Texas.
Well, let's go. We go.
I mean, if there's in the near future, if there's, if we're just like, we don't want to go like, Washington State and all that, I would definitely be ready to go back to Texas. I enjoyed it, but I would like to go back with the same guys we was with, because that was.
I'd like to get on that same ranch.
That was a good hunt. Oh, me too.
The first ranch took our.
The ranch we hunted.
The people we set our hunt up with took our money. There was no turkeys. There was not he killed the only turkey on the whole 6,000. Well, what was it, 6,000 acres? Yeah. It was a cattle ranch, and it was terrible. And then we found a dude. We was driving home, and I told Dustin, I said, we got tags. We need to find somebody. And we found another dude had to turn around and drive like 3 hours south, even south of where we was. And I don't know. What part of Texas are you going to hunt?
It is George West is where I'm going.
Ooh, I don't know where that is. I'm not familiar with that.
I'm not either, but it's outside of San Antonio somewhere. Let me look it up.
Yeah, yes. we went out. We went through San Antonio.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's kind of southeast of San Antonio, kind of. Yeah, almost in the Gulf of Mexico, man.
Oh, you're off down.
Now, are you making the drive, or are you flying?
Yeah, so my goal is to hit Mississippi, either on the way there or on the way back. So I'm actually going to drive and making a road trip out of it. Me and my younger brother.
I was going to ask you if you were going alone.
No, me and my younger brother are going, and it's going to be an awesome trip with my little brother.
That'll be fun.
That sounds like a good time there.
Yeah.
There's so many memories made in the woods.
Yeah.
The road trip, to me, the road trip's the best part of it.
Yeah, the road trip's going to be fun, camping in Texas for the weekend. Who knows who we'll hit. We're going to try to hit Mississippi, hit any other states that are open maybe if we get time. But, yeah, he hasn't. He's about 10 years younger than me, and he has not been able to hunt outside of Georgia. So this is going to be his first road trip out west, and so he's super excited about getting outside of Georgia to do some turkey hunting.
Yeah, he's going to be.
Anthony hasn't always had the best travel partner. I didn't realize that I had sleep apnea, so used to Anthony would drive a lot by himself because I'd be over there snoring and sleep, but it's got a whole lot better.
Yeah, he finally got diagnosed and got a machine, could sleep at night. He nearly killed us in Tallahassee, Florida. We was driving down there on a hunt, and he went to sleep in the middle of the interstate driving.
You're in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah, in the middle of a conversation. We're off in the median in the I-10 and downtown Tallahassee. Nearly died. So,
Yeah, I pray my brother will split some of the driving with me. He's going to have to.
It's a long drive, I'm going to tell you, because I think I drove that Texas trip back, did I not? Yeah.
Yeah, I was asleep.
Yeah, you slept the whole way. I drove all the way, and we were
tornado.
We were kind of west of Victoria, Texas, down in there, which is on the Gulf, and see, it's all the same area. It's wild country. What time of the year are you going? You going in March?
Yes, sir. Middle of March.
Oh, it'll still be kind of a brownish color. It won't be as quite greened up. Well, it was pretty green that first place we were at, but we went even further southwest, and it was like a desert nearly. It
was amazing coming back. It's just nothing but death, and then all of a sudden, it's like you opened the door and went into a different room. Boom.
Yeah.
Back to green, and it's pretty amazing.
Have you hunted Texas before? Was this your first trip? Or have you hunted Rios before? I guess it'd be a better question.
I did in Kansas for a couple days, but again, that trip got kind of cut short, so I had to head back home. So truly, I would say not really.
But you've heard they do gobble different to me. They don't.
Oh, well,
yeah, they do.
And they were gobbling. We got on some. We didn't seal the deal day 1, day 2. We had some horrible weather. I'm talking about 40 mile per hour winds and whatnot. But yeah, no, they gobble. It's nothing like an eastern gobble, though.
No. An eastern gobble is just it's a deep. I mean, they want you to know they're gobbling. The rest of these are I call it a sissy gobble. Nearly, it's even the Merriams they don't gobble. I mean, they gobble. Don't get me wrong. I've got it. The one I killed gobbled his head off. They're just not the same.
Oh, yeah, and there's nothing like an eastern gobbling in the hardwoods, man, echoing through the timber.
Oh, I like them when they're just. I mean, if you could see them, you could kill them when they're so close, and when they gobble, it vibrates you.
Oh, yeah.
Same way with drumming. I mean, of course, now drumming to me, I guess, is more exciting than a gobble. Because it's just all around you. And people that's never heard it, and my hearing's got so bad over the years, I really don't know if I could hear a drum again. I hadn't heard one drumming, but Dustin and I sit on, side by side a lot, and I don't think we've had one drumming come in on us yet, have they? So I'm hoping one drums and we're sitting together and I hear it, because I don't want him to tell me you hear that one drumming and I can't hear it, because I'm going to really be disappointed. But I've had to I've shot so many guns over the years. It's killed my hearing. I've had to wear tetras now to hear. They work. They're money, but they work. But I'll tell
drumming, you can feel it in the body too. It's like vibrating you. And
there is to me, if you can't see the turkey while he's drumming, you can't pinpoint him. It's almost like it just surrounds you. That's how it seems to me anyway.
It's very unique.
It's I still don't, I have my own theories why they do it, but I don't think they even understand exactly. There's a reason they do it.
Yeah, I think with some smarter turkeys, this is just my theory. I think that they the more pressured turkeys kind of move away from gobbling and use drumming more to kind of get with the hens and conversate with the hens instead of gobbling and giving away their location for hundreds of yards away. I think some of the more pressured turkeys kind of rely on drumming.
You want to hear what an old man's hypothesis is or theory on drumming?
I do.
I agree. They'll drum when they were not gobbling.
Mm-hmm.
My dad worked at a coal mine here in Alabama. He was a miner. And his last few years, he was in the shop. I go over there and visit. And he was telling me there was turkeys over there. I actually go over there and turkey hunt. I didn't know what I was doing, but I'd go over there and turkey hunt. But he told me more than once he would be out there where they dump all the rock and all that kind of stuff. There'd be a big bulldozer out there. And he said more than once, when them guys would get out of one of those big, I guess, I don't know if it's a big dozer. I'll just say D9. I don't know what's a big dozer. Those hens would be out feeding around in that area, and that vibration, those hens would just would lay down, and they could walk out there if that dozer was sitting there vibrating. Walk out there and pick up a hen. So I think that it's almost like it does something to them almost hypnotically where they'll just stop to be bred. When they start, if it works, this is just me. I'm not no biologist by no means, but I have hunted a few turkeys. I've never seen it. I've never seen it in life, but nobody seems to know exactly why they do it, because they'll do it while they're gobbling too. But I really think it might cause that hen to stop to be bred. That's just
possibly.
I don't know. I've never heard anybody say that. So, I
like the theory. Right or wrong, I like the theory.
Well, I don't know if you've ever, growing up, we had chickens and stuff. You can hypnotize a chicken just laying it on the ground and, running your finger around it and doing that kind of thing. I just wonder if they're a bird. So that's just one of my weird things I think about sometimes. But maybe it does, maybe it don't. I'd love to hear a biologist take on it. They probably go, "You're an idiot," but I don't know. Well, look, have we missed anything? I mean, we're running on here a little bit longer than we told you we'd keep you. What have we not asked that you need to tell us? Maybe go back over a couple of things. Tell us all your social media where people can find you, follow you, pick up some of your merchandise.
So EasternTurkeyObsession.com just released my website a week ago and adding some newer hats here before the show. And I don't have a booth. I won't have a booth at NWTF, but I'll have a bunch of hats with me. And I've got some cheap friends, and they're like, "Hey, don't ship it, just bring it to the show." So if anybody wants to buy a hat, I'll bring it to the show, and they can save some money on shipping. But also, Instagram, TikTok, Eastern Turkey Obsession. While you're at it, too, go check out Harmony Game Calls. I'll be hanging out a lot with them this year, and I definitely appreciate you guys allowing me to come on here and tell the world, or just Alabama or whoever listens, about a little bit about Eastern Turkey Obsession, and hopefully, like we were talking about, maybe before, middle, or right after the season, we catch back up and have some more stories and see how everybody's turkey season went.
And what is Harmony's booth number again?
I think it's going to be 1717.
1717. I thought it was something like that. I should have wrote it down. But anyway, if anybody that's going to the show, they're going to get a map handed to them in their little booklet when they walk in the door. So you can look them up. Hey, look us up too. We'll be around. Just look for an old guy that walks around and his partner calling him daddy. You'll know it's us. So But like I said, we won't keep you on. We appreciate you being here. It's been fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. This is my podcast debut, boys. So no matter what, I'll always be thankful for you guys having me on here. So hopefully, again, we can catch up later this season.
Well, when you're on Fistful of Dirt, you can always tell them that. You can tell old Cuz.
Hey, I can dream big.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it, guys. I hope you guys have a blessed turkey season. Y'all be safe traveling all over these states. And, I've got your cell phone number, so
yes,
can't wait to send some pics of some dead turkeys.
Good deal. Good deal. We'll keep up with you. We'll check on you during the season if it's just a text or a call. We'll see what's happening.
Yeah, man. God bless you guys. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
See you.
All right.
I think that was a great first podcast for him. And, he's an interesting young man. So, I look forward to meeting him at NWTF. And hopefully, like you said, we love getting those texts that show somebody, with a dead gobbler. So, that ought to be fun, tracking him and him tracking us during the season.
And that's what it's all about.
We stay healthy. Yeah. I even like to, even when I have to call and tell you that I killed a tree, hey, it's still a turkey story. And even though I'm crying on the inside and I'm trying to hold back when I'm telling you, but,
I could hear
part of it.
I heard it last year. I could hear the tears hitting the microphone on the phone, dripping down.
After the whole finger episode, I just thought, well, my season's over. And then, lo and behold, the first day I get to get out and try it, I get a great bird within shooting range, and I whip.
So, before we go, this is your week. You're supposed to have a turkey story.
Man, I forgot all about it.
Oh my God!
I have been so tired. Well, I did. I kind of told my turkey story, I guess.
What? Shooting a tree?
I know about the ninja turkey.
Oh my goodness!
The ninja turkey that snuck up on me.
Yeah, but, I want to talk to you about the ninja turkey off air. I just can't believe all these stories that you've told me.
Well, I'll tell you a good funny one.
Tell us a funny one.
So I used to be in a hunting club over in Fayette, Alabama with some friends of mine, and we picked up a new piece of property on County Road 4 down there, and everybody was going to their same old spots. And I was like, man, all this land's down here. And it was kind of on both sides of the paved road. And I thought, well, if I hear a bird on the other side, I can just cross, across the paved road, and I've got all this land to hunt. So I get in there the first morning, and it was on Saturday. I just had Saturday and Sunday to hunt, and I get in there, and man, bird's on fire. I keep thinking, well, he's coming, and I just keep working this bird. Well, it just doesn't work out. And Sunday morning, I don't tell nobody. Sunday morning, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna go back over there. I'm in there just laying it down. It's camp, so nobody wants to go over there. And I roll in, same thing Sunday morning. Start hearing the bird gobble. Then I hear two birds gobble. I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm in it. And I don't make it happen again. So, I have to go home. So I'm at work all week thinking, man, if I need to get down there, I know what I'm going to do. I'm looking at the map. I'm thinking, well, I'm going to start right in here. I'm going to go in way early, walk in, try to get on top of these birds. So I go in the next Saturday morning after having to dream of these birds all week, and I get in there early, get set up, get everything right, make a few soft calls, hear a bird gobble. I thought this time I'm not going to sit here and wait. I'm going to go ahead and close the gap. Well, I closed the gap, but I was still, I had a little bit of cover, and bird didn't come to me, but the bird's still gobbling. So I keep trying to work my way to it. Well, when I finally get where I think, well, I can't go any further. Sometimes you get to that distance, you're like, I don't know, if it's going to be open or what. So I'm going I'm going to hang tight right here. This bird just kept hammering and hammering. So finally I thought, well, I'm either going to bust this bird or I'm going to kill this bird. And so here I go. I just taking a slow approach, trying to, go through cover and work my way to this bird. Well, little did I know that when I got to this bird, there was going to be an old man sitting on the porch drinking coffee, and his 2 tame turkeys was in a pen behind his house. Then I chased these birds for 2 weekends. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I've covered miles, over 2 weekends, had this game plan, and yep, they were pen turkeys.
Pen turkeys.
That explained why they never came to me. It's a good thing they wouldn't out and came to me.
That's true. That old man
could have been bad.
That old man might have met you in the woods when you was picking him up.
Yeah, but yeah, that's I don't tell that one very often. It's almost embarrassing, but once again,
well,
it may happen to me again at some point.
We think that happened to us in Kentucky one time.
Yeah,
back over there in that back corner up in Cadiz. But now we can't be for sure. But I feel like maybe that was what was going on. They had every other animal down there mooing and squealing and bellowing and everything else you can do. So it wouldn't shock me if he'd had him a turkey in a pen. Well, that was a good one. I like it. I'll have to come up with something for next week. You know me, I don't have a whole lot to say, so
yeah,
I'll try to drum up something. No pun intended.
Yeah, and I'll try to. I may try to make me a few notes when one hits my, comes up on me. So that way I'll be more prepared. But with that one I just thought of, and it's it seems like everything I do it's a funny in the woods. Whether I'm having to shoot backwards or something crazy or shooting trees or on pen turkeys, there's always something going on.
That's right. We got a few stories we could tell on ourselves just together, I guess, too. So I've got a real embarrassing one. I'll save it. It just happened last year, but with me and my brother. So something similar, but even worse. So I won't even go into it.
We'll use that one for next week.
I'll use it next week, I guess. If we're going, since you done let out the embarrassing part, I'll tell you. It was probably one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me. So anyway, this thing will be coming out next Monday. It'll be, we're supposed to be right in the middle of another winter storm coming. So everybody listening, drive safe, stay at home if you can. If it happens, these maps are all over the map. Well, they don't know what it's going to do. They just know it's going to do something. I know it's going to be cold. If it's cold here, it's going to be worse cold on you. So, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, just get your calls out. If I didn't get mine out, but I'm walking down there tonight and getting them out and put them in my truck in the morning, and get to blowing on them, squawking on your box, and sucking on your trumpet, whatever y'all do. Them trumpet players, they do suck, don't they? Sorry, trumpet players. Actually, I've got several of them over there, so I can't say nothing. I just can't do it. But I guess if you got nothing else, I say we'll give it a call and head on to bed. I know you're an hour ahead of me, so I ain't even had dinner yet.
I'm on that fast time.
That's right, fast time. My old buddy Mike Carter, he's one time got me on that. I don't know if the people live on the state line like that, Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee call it that, but that's what he called it. So that's what, when you told me I'll call you at 8 o'clock fast time, I knew what you was talking about.
Yes, sir.
Well, good deal. All right, everybody, Meeting Two Nation. We will see you in a week.